So, Watchmen. I know there's a couple fans of this graphic novel
Yeah.
out there. Yeah. And I guess first thing I wanted to talk about a little bit about my sort of history with the project right now as it is, and talk a little bit about just what sort of talk about production methodology and things like that, and then I'll take some questions. And then I got a couple little surprises that I think are kind of cool. That's so first of all, I think that the thing that's awesome about the book, and I think the thing that resonates, is that, you know, a lot of people, when they first read Watchmen, and everyone has a different experience with it, and I've talked to many people about that. You know, it's about kind of where they were in the world when they first read it, and I know what I feel about it, and that is that when I read it, it sort of legitimized a way of thinking for me that I felt was pretty awesome, and it kind of combined all the things that I think comic books can be, as far as being intellectual, being action, being representing something bigger than just what's on the page, and not being just only about the drawings, but then being about ideas as well. It's cool to go back and see what that is. You know, because I feel like people are like, well, you know, should we make it, you know, like the war on terror and stuff, you know, because I think Watchmen has a lot of, you know, it speaks to that, our current political climate and all that. And that's cool, I can ask. But on the other hand, isn't it cooler to make a movie that allows the audience and people who are watching it to go, you know, that's a big movie? And I'd much rather do that than tell them what I think. I think my own what I think. And so, then when we started talking about, you know, what the movie would be rated, and it was funny because I felt like it is what it is. It turned out that it's kind of an adult thing, you know. I don't set out every time and say, oh, this movie's going to be hard, and it's just like, I just want it to be hard. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't do that, strangely. But with Watchmen, you know, it's funny, you know, when you're talking to the studio, they're like, you know, I think they brought it up first, like, you know, this doesn't feel like PG-13. And it wasn't like I thought about it either way. I just was like, oh, this is it. You know, this is the movie. So, I don't know, you know. If it's not PG-13, then it's not. This is kind of what I want to do. I mean, if you read the book, you know, this is what happened. And so that's when we started to say, all right, R-rated superhero movie, which I think is pretty cool, first of all. And I don't know, are there other R-rated superhero movies? Blade, really? Punisher, naked, Dolph Lundgren. Anyway, you know what I mean. Some things need to be looked at. And so, you know, and I think what it's done is, in some ways, it's taken the movie. If you say like, okay, R-rated movie, the adult movie, whatever that means. If you call me an adult, it's a mistake, but so thematically though, it is, and it lives in that world, and you know, I think that's cool. You want if you get to a place in your life where you need Watchmen, you'll go find it. I don't think it's a thing that, like I say, you know, we're not gonna make it accessible to, teeny boppers because it means, marketing. But I also think that pop culture, for whatever it's worth, they sort of, the cool thing I think about cinema right now is that you look at how many superhero movies have we had in the last, 10 years, 15 years, like a fair amount. I mean, I think you could walk out into middle America and say, hey, what's Spider-Man, like how did Spider-Man become Spider-Man? And they go, oh, he got bit by like an atomic spider and like some guy who's never even read a comic book. So I think that the cool thing is, in a lot of ways, sort of mainstream cinema audience is where a lot of comic book fans were when Watchmen came out for them, as far as what they need from the comic book genre and from the superhero genre. They need something else. And Watchmen was something else for the people who read it. In 85, it changed the way they think about comic books. And I think the movie, I hope, anyway, to do the same thing for people who go like, well, superhero movies can only be Fantastic Four. It can only be, for kids. And I think that when they see Watchmen, I think they're going to go like, he didn't just do that, did he? Like that was like sexual assault to me. Anyway, so one of the things I want to talk about was so our methodology a little bit for the way we're going to shoot the movie is, we have a lot of sets that we're building in Vancouver. We're building like a New York City back lot. We're going to build it's pretty practical, other than Mars and Antarctica, the exterior of Antarctica. We're not going to Antarctica, though I know that's going to disappoint some people. And neither are we going to Mars, which I also know will disappoint some people. I have seen some chatter on the internet about like, dude, he doesn't care. I'm not taking the production to Mars. Loser. But I promise you, if we could, we would go to Mars. But like I say, it's an R-rated movie. They will not spend the money to send us to Mars on an R-rated movie. No way.